Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. I'm the founder, president, and CEO of GRCAM, the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. I would like to encourage everyone on my backup Facebook page, everyone in my social groups, and all of my listeners from around the globe. Please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to my YouTube page, and share this audio podcast on all social media sites you are on, such as Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, TikTok, and LinkedIn, ladies and gentlemen. This audio podcast is available in two forms, audio and also as a written text, in order for us to reach our audience. Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast is our Black media component. I would like to encourage my listeners to subscribe to my Medium page so that you can follow along through the podcast. I provide my Medium page or Medium transcript in the comment section below this audio podcast. Our objective is to raise the bar in Black America and eventually in Africa, the Caribbean, and in Brazil. This platform is for real social change. We're trying to unite the African American community and the African immigrant community, starting in America. I'm doing my best to recruit brave and smart, like minded Black Americans, brave and smart, like minded African immigrants to work with me in turning my vision and plan into a reality. Once we're able to raise the funds for our film project and the proceeds from the film starts pouring in, then I will be in a better position financially to purchase property in Chicago, Illinois, hire qualified Black middle class professionals and qualified African immigrants to help me build the best African American business within the United States of America, and that is the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. We will make our presence known in both the African American community and the African immigrant community. We will offer quality programs such as academics, creative writing, dance, music, theater, visual arts, and filmmaking. We will offer free groceries and utility bill assistance to our members who are struggling financially based on our budget and sponsorship. In Greater Chicago, we will teach our members and students how to develop a new mindset, self-care, and increase one's self self-confidence. Provide skills to overcome obstacles in life. Learn how to work together, build together, and learn how to respect each other's culture for credibility before we replicate and expand the business to 10 African nations. I'm trying to use this technology and social media to help spread my vision to those who will listen. I created this platform, Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos, to give people on my friends list who are artists, comedians, fashion designers, filmmakers, models, musicians, poets, gospel singers, spiritual leaders, and upcoming Black entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs to promote their products and services to my listeners from the global community. I have proven my commitment for the past 33 years. Greater Chicago is about raising the bar in Black America. There will be protocol put in place to separate ourselves from con artists, Black boule, degenerates, Democrat shields, hardened criminals, pedophiles, off-code Negroes, and urban terrorists. All of the principles in my revised book is the code for your CAM members. Those who are not a part of us, we will pray for them, we will show them tough love and keep it moving. I do not operate like the next Black man. I have my own style and way of doing things. You don't have to like me, but you will respect me. The sooner we get this film project fully funded and made, the sooner we can start building a Kai of Chicago. This business is not about me. This business is about camp members and their families. It's about improving our communities and meeting the social needs of the African American community and the African immigrant community. It's my hope that we will build this movement together, a movement that will not put politics over our interests, a movement that refuses to let the same insiders who have done nothing for decades keep holding power without accountability. We're nonpartisan, we're independent, and we're not affiliated with anyone. We're M1, meaning we are melanated first. Our focus is on solving Black issues at the grassroots level or community level. I will never forget where I come from or who I'm fighting for. Let's make real change happen together. The grassroots community activist movement welcome Black entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs, Black artists, African artists, and cultivate a family friendly atmosphere rooted in solidarity and making a positive impact within the African American community and the African immigrant community. I want to do more than just news and social commentary, but at this time, this is all I can do. Without support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, then I am unable to do my job. All I can do is pray and watch our children die in the streets. And that's unacceptable. I'm unable to reach Black Americans because a majority of them have become Americanized and have developed a narcissist attitude. This is why I am reaching out to African immigrants within the United States of America from 10 African nations. I'm asking you to please read my story. If you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, then make yourself known to me. I provide my contact information in the book. You can connect with me through my business email. Um, Also, if you become part of our film project, you will go down in history with me and Sister Renee. So I'm reaching out to African immigrants who are from the following African nations: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. Black Americans is acting funny style with me because I have been reaching out to them for the past 33 years, online and in real life. And a majority of them tell me they're not interested. And it is what it is. But our people need help. And I'm doing the best that I can to get this thing popping. But unfortunately, I'm unable to reach my own people. And that's why I'm reaching out to you. It was our ancestors during the civil rights era that helped and fought and died to have you all to be able to come here to this country in the first place. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty, a guilt trip, or nothing like that. I'm just keeping it 100. I need your help because I'm trying. This is what my creator has placed in my heart, and he gave me the vision to help not only my people, but our people also on the continents. But we got to get it popping here first for credibility. All I'm asking is that you read, that you purchase my revised book, quote, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, second edition. For those of you that don't know, you can find it in the comment section below this audio podcast. I'm going to provide the link there. It's available in two forms. It's available as an ebook for $9.99. It's also available as a softcover book for $15 plus shipping and handling. So all I want you to do is just read my story for yourself. If you agree with my vision and plan and you believe that you have the skills that I'm looking for, make yourself known to me. Don't wait until I am dead. Work with me while I am alive. The whole purpose of me writing my book and the whole purpose of me creating this platform is to connect with other like-minded Black Americans, like minded African immigrants that's on business just like me. Work with me and get behind this film project so that way together we can make all of this stuff come into a reality, and also so that I can hire you. You got to meet the qualifications that I'm looking for. Um, I would love to have you to come on this podcast and for us to talk about it, and also to get encourage others to get involved with our film project. Quote, Hood Liberator made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins, unquote. You can be a part of this historic docudrama by contributing to our campaign either on our GoFundMe page or on our PayPal Giving Fund page, which will help with funding, marketing, promotion, clearance, legal, and general expenses. Our aim is to raise $250,000. We are using crowdfunding so that everybody would know exactly where the money is going. We have our GoFundMe page and our PayPal Giving Fund page in the comment section below this audio podcast. If you are a U.S. citizen, then you can use, I recommend that you use our PayPal Giving Fund page as a tax write off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit faith based community advocacy organization. I use my platform in order to interact with everyone on my friends list and everyone in my social groups. If you are an author, an entrepreneur, a poet, or a musician, and you would like to come on my platform to promote yourself and your work, um, to my listeners from the global community, then make arrangements with me by sending me your email address to my backup Facebook page. Or if you're friends with me on LinkedIn, send me your email address to my inbox on LinkedIn or on Instagram, TikTok, or on my X page. After the show, I usually offer my guest speakers an incentive by sharing with them how to create their own podcast and YouTube channel. Um, I help them create free websites for their business and ministries. I assist them with finding grants and scholarships, as well as legal services, all for free. Anyone who have purchased my revised book and agreed with my vision and plan to improve Black America will automatically become a GCAM member. GCAM members are the ones who will build of Chicago and help me manage the business without me having to be present all the time. I want to expand this. We're only going to focus on Chicago. Now, if it expand to other cities across the United States, that's cool. But again, I gave Black America 33 years of my life. It's been very disrespectful. You know, the people that I ran across, and that's unacceptable. And so, what we're gonna do in this business, once we get this film project fully funded and made, and the proceeds start coming in, I start, first, like I say, purchase property here in Chicago. Because again, this is all for credibility. I want the Black world to know my story. Very important. And my business is going to, Eye of Chicago will compete against Pan Africanism because Pan Africanism has been out for 160 years. You know what I'm saying? It's nice, the philosophy that Marcus Garvey had and all that stuff. But the problem is they left God out of it. So that's why it's not a in this business, God is important and is a part of this business. Jesus slash Yahshua is the one that has given me this vision, and I claim ownership. Coming events Thursday, April 17th, we have guest speaker evangelist Simeon from Nigeria. Friday, April 18th, we have guest speaker Evangelist Vera from Nigeria. Saturday, April 19th, we have guest speaker Minister Sarah from Uganda. Wednesday, April 23rd, we have guest speaker Psalmist Esther. Um, she's from Kenya. Thursday, April 24th, we have guest speaker Prophetess God's Way from Nigeria. Please mark your calendar for our next monthly virtual interactive conference, which will be Saturday, April 26th, 2025. Join us in this virtual interactive conference. Everyone on my Facebook backup page, everyone in my social groups, social, uh, everyone in my Instagram page, everyone on my TikTok page, everyone on my X page, and everyone on my LinkedIn page are welcome. This platform, we're genuine, sincere, transparent, and authentic. I am looking for 5 or more people to be on the panel so that we can discuss the topic. If you are camera shy, then you can cover your camera so that my listeners will only hear your voice. If you are serious about being on the panel, then please send me your email address to my Facebook backup page. Um, then I will email you the link to get on the show. Once I finish my presentation, then I will open up the show for Q&A. This is called Side B. I prefer to see you on camera first to make sure that no one's is trolling. This event will help expand your network, enhance your profile visibility, and make more meaningful connection with the global community. Theme: exposing the evil plan white supremacist financial elites have for Africa and Black America. We're talking about a documentary that a Kenyan sister named Abigail Lucy Mary discussed on her show entitled, quote, White Man Confessions on his involvement in plans to eradicate Black people, especially South Africans, unquote. Where? YouTube/StreamYard. Time 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. American Central Time, 3 p.m. Canadian Time, 9 p.m. West African Time, 10 p.m. South African Time, 11 p.m. East African Time, and 9 p.m. UK Time. So, what I want to stress to my African brothers and sisters on the continent, just listen to this podcast on Spotify, because if you watch it on my YouTube channel, then that's going to eat up more of your bundle. So I'm trying to help you out by encouraging you to just make sure that you have subscribed to my Spotify audio podcast so that way you can hear it that way. Title of this presentation: Exposing Global White Supremacy in Real Time and What We Can Do About It. Before I go into my presentation, I need to discuss a few things. Last Monday, I decided to treat Sister Renee to one of my favorite childhood fast food restaurants in the, I think it's called, it's because it's been, back when I was a kid and stuff. So it's called Grand Crossing neighborhood. So the name of the restaurant is Limbs Barbecue, located on 311 East 75th Street, Chicago. I haven't been there in years, and I wanted to patronize a Black-owned business. We went When we went there, there was a long line. We waited in line for about 15 minutes to get inside the restaurant. I read all the positive reviews about the restaurant, and I saw it. So I said I just wanted to go over there because, again, I remember as a child, um, my godfather used to take me there, and so I enjoyed it. I ordered a JBL special. It was still taste. tasty, and I would say it was good. But the downside was that the manager had a real funky attitude with her customers. And I don't like to, even though it's a black-owned business. If you got a nasty attitude, you're not going to be in business too long. And plus, I'm not going to patronize you. Sister Renee also, to her, she didn't really like the food, but and she didn't like the manager's attitude. In my business, we will treat our members and students with respect. Without customers, then you won't have a business. So, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. So, a lot of these people that, inherit, their parents, franchise or business, some of them don't, value their customers like their parents used to. So, you just got to know how to be respectful to people, and especially if they're helping paying your bills. Just sad. Um, Also, I watched some troubling videos on YouTube about Africans scamming Black American tourists. Now, that's not cool at all. Global African family, y'all got to do better, and this is how come I'm trying to get this business up and running here in America first. I want to connect with, African immigrants that's from the continent, that's here in America, for us to learn how to get along with each other, learn how to bond, because we've been separated for the past 400 years. So I want us to respect each other's culture. And again, I want to connect with people that's going to be on the up and up. I want to encourage all of my listeners to go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this audio podcast. If you are listening to this audio podcast on Spotify, then just click on the YouTube icon, and then you will be directed uh, to my Medium transcript, and select the episode entitled "Exposing White Exposing Global White Supremacy in Real Time and What We Can Do About it." That's the name of this episode. So you select that, then go down to um, well, click on that, and then scroll down to Show and Prove. Select the video clip entitled, quote, "Jamaicans and Black Americans crying forced to leave Africa after arrival," unquote. Then watch another video entitled, quote, "African American couple loses $90,000 in land scam in Ghana," unquote. Again, global African family, we got to do better. This is why all these other groups are taking advantage of us, because globally we are not on code. Like it or not, we need to have this conversation, ladies and gentlemen. I am online to recruit brave and smart, like minded Black Americans, brave and smart, like minded African immigrants in America, for us to build the best African American business within the United States. That's what we're going to do. Um, I want to unite the global African family throughout the diaspora. And the name of this business is the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. Well, we want us again to move from behind the computer and for us to build the Grassroots Community Activist Institute. That's going to be a physical building that must be made. And again, I provide all of the instructions on how we're going to do that in my revised book. But my revised book is just half of my knowledge. I'm not putting everything out there. I know how to balance, and also I don't want my enemies to know everything I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Because they just want to come. A lot of them just want to come around my page to be nosy or want to sabotage. So again, we just gonna make sure that we are that I'm gonna connect with like-minded people that's on standing on business. Um, Again, I want us to make sure that we build the best African American business within the United States, and that's going to be Grakai of Chicago for credibility before we expand it to 10 African nations and eventually across the Sub-Sahara Africa. For the past 33 years, Black America, specifically Black Chicagoans, have been acting funny style with me. Here's what it is. They take me for a joke. They overlook my vision and plan to help improve, our community. And let's keep it a buck. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from buying my revised book. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from purchasing items from my virtual store. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from donating to my film project. That's a personal choice. That's Willie Lynch in real time, ladies and gentlemen. My focus now is on reaching out to African immigrants across the United States of America who have came across this platform for them to consider working with me to help me move my virtual Christian organization from behind the internet. This is what my docudrama is going to be about. My experience growing up in the inner city of Chicago, also known as the Black Ghettos. My experience when I did street ministry and all of the pushback that I experienced, not from white America, but from Black America. I'm calling upon Black filmmakers and African filmmakers that's in the United States of America. Please read my story. And if you agree with my vision and plan, then make yourself known to me. I provide my business email in my book so that you can contact me directly. I'm on a mission to recruit brave and smart people, brave and like minded, brave and smart, like minded Black Americans, brave and smart, like minded African immigrants. Back to the topic. Well, over the weekend, I watched a video featuring a white woman expressing her concerns over the increased number of Muslims in the UK. Her warning about an invasion has gone viral. To watch the TikTok video entitled, quote, White Woman Expressed Concerns Over the Increased Number of Muslims in the UK, unquote. Just go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this audio podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. Many people are pointing out the historical um, um, irony given Europe's track record of colonization and transfer of other people's cultural artifacts and resources around the globe. Europeans or the white supremacist financial elites invaded the Muslim world, the African continent, Latin America, Australia, Canada, and the Caribbeans. Also Asia too. Now all of a sudden, everybody who was affected by these invaders are coming to Europe and the United States of America because your people have destroyed their economy. Your people hoarded all of their natural resources. This is why people from Latin America are flocking to the United States. Western nations have gone to everybody's country, stealing, killing, and destroying. What happens when people migrate to America, Canada, or Europe? People bring their culture with them. If you invest in other people's country and help them to improve their own economy, then they would stay in their homeland. But the white supremacist financial elites are greedy. They want to hoard all the resources, and that's the problem. Through an act of God, now their birth rates are low and they are becoming a minority in their own homeland. It's what it is. The white supremacist financial elites have a horrible track record. This is why they're trying to whitewash their history books. But we are in the information age. Even in this day and age, Black Americans are still fighting for freedom, justice, and equality. The Bible speak of a seed seed time and a harvest time. The Bible says, "Whatever a man soweth, he shall reap." Now the white supremacist financial elites are reaping the judgment of God. America is falling apart. Donald Trump, having been in office for 6 months, and just look at all of the drama that's taking place in the White House. It's not just in America, we're talking about globally. The global white supremacist financial elites versus the national white supremacist financial elites. They don't understand why they're not respected. Nobody cares about what they say anymore. They're going to beg Black Americans to save them. The American empire will fall because every empire end up falling just like Rome. I watched a video about a white man in South Africa complaining about having a white president again. I'm like, you white supremacist financial elites ran South Africa for hundreds of years due to the fact that they had the upper hand on Black Africans because of the gun. The rightful owners of the land have only been in charge for 36 years. It's their turn now and it's their homeland. They did not go get on boats and travel to someone else's land, unlike those invaders from Europe. And Africans never asked Europeans to come over. They just imposed themselves, and they used that trade the trade as an excuse, like why they're visiting. But they only came because they didn't have nothing popping and going on there in their own homeland, Europe. That's how come now Europe have all the gold and well, pretty much all the gold and wealth. But if you check the dark ages of Europe, you'll see they didn't have nothing going on until they left Europe. So, and it's just really, it's a turnoff that, they supposed to hate Black people and stuff. We ain't did a doggone thing to those people. And you hate us, stealing our resources. It's just a doggone shame. South African people did not ask Europeans to come to our continent. Look at how they behave when they were in charge and how they treated Black Africans under apartheid, which the white supremacist financial elites created, treating Black Africans as fifth class citizens in their own homeland. We have to bring that Black American energy to South Africa. Instead of all this marching and protesting for another 60 years, begging the descendant of slave owners for freedom, justice, and equality, they have treated us as fourth and fifth class citizens because we don't have an embassy. We can't just up and leave America like everyone else because all these other groups voluntarily came or migrated to America. In my business, we will form an alliance with African immigrants community before we expand the business to Africa. I want to make sure that we are in code, that we understand one another, that we can do business with one another and respect each other's culture. So that way we can replicate the business on the African continent. Those white Afrikaners got some nerve talking about they want an independent white country within South Africa. but yet they know doggone well that no, let's say Africans in Europe can say that no, um, they want to have their own independent African nation in Europe. That's not going to happen. That's not going to fly. It's always these double standards. So all I'm saying, we have to check these white supremacists head on. Just have to check them. And that's why we're trying to go to Africa so we can get away from these racist people. But doggone it, they over there too. So I'm just saying we're going to have to check them in South Africa. And the continent belongs to us. We're going to have to stand up. We'll do it in a nice way first, legally. And if that doesn't work, then doggone it, we're just going to have to fight it out. But doggone it, we're sick and tired of these white supremacists always bugging. Always bugging. These same people don't want to live under black leadership instead of them taking themselves back to their own homeland. They want to stay there and keep on bugging. They have 80% of the land. And so they're upset that black Africans are demanding um, that land to be redistributed back to them without compensation. We ain't gonna pay you for stealing the land. Hell no. In contrast, look how white Americans treat black Americans after the civil rights era. White Americans launched mass incarceration against black Americans. They flooded the inner cities with crack cocaine aimed at breaking up the black family. The US government paid reparations to slave owners after 1865, but not to the victims who were enslaved, which were my ancestors. That's why we're demanding um, reparations in the form of cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves slash freedmen. America have to pay for those atrocities inflicted on my ancestors in order to close that $10 trillion wealth gap between blacks and whites in America. God has called us to separate and to come out from among them. Um, read King James, Joshua 23, the whole chapter. Read Ezekiel chapter 34, verses 11 through 16, the King James Version. This is a Western world issue. The white supremacist financial elites have a track record of dropping bombs on innocent people around the globe. They have stolen resources and colonized people, but our focus is on our ancestors who were enslaved in the United States of America and our continent, Africa. That's our focus. The white supremacist financial elites have caused coups and wars in African nations. They have funded and armed terrorists in other countries. Our destiny is for us to um, return to Africa, bring our talents there, help improve the African economy, and become global citizens. That's what I want my members to be, CAM members. I want Black Americans that's going to be CAM members to have dual citizenship in exchange for our skills to help improve each African nation that we go to. And I'm going to talk to different African governments behind closed doors. I'm not going to get into all that because that's a private matter. But that's what I'm trying to do. It's unfortunately I wasn't able to help my people like I wanted to here in Chicago because they took me for a joke. Again, because of that slave mentality and being Americanized and all that stuff. It's just a lot of Black Americans that I see, they don't mind being treated as third and fourth class citizens. That's on them. I ain't down with that. Um, we want to reclaim our rightful place on this planet by making Africa a superpower once again, just like it was during its golden age. Trump administration and Elon Musk are interfering with South Africa because God is telling Black South Africans to stand up and stop being afraid of these white supremacist financial elites who have done them wrong, stealing their resources and making them feel like fifth, third, and fourth class citizens in their own homeland. Look at Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. It took them 39 years, but they finally did it. They finally kicked out the French, who was exploiting Africa and its resources. Ever since Europeans stepped foot on the African continent, Africa has been going through hell. And that's not right. And that wasn't God's will. It's time for Black South Africans to reclaim their land, which was given to them by God, their descendants. I believe that Julius Malema should have been president of South Africa. He is one of the greatest leaders in South Africa, as far as I'm concerned. I want to use this platform to connect with other like minded brothers and sisters. Let's work with each other. That's what I'm on. I'm not paying attention to what's going on with these other groups. We got to focus on getting our house in order. Um, because our house is on fire. We have to put that fire out. There's a revival of a Black self defense ideology. In other words, there's a cultural resurgence of pro Black self defense movements like the Deacons of Self Defense and Justice, which echoes the Black Panthers of self defense and Nat Turner. Black Americans are not going to just sit around like sitting ducks and be hidden upon. This is why we need an anti Black hate crime bill. We shouldn't have two set of laws based on race. I noticed there's growing support for lineage-based solidarity centered around those who were born out of this systematic oppression in the United States of America. It's my hope that CAM members would start building up these defense funds and legal teams for Black Americans who are targeted. In Gretile, Chicago, like minded Black Americans and like minded African immigrants, like minded Afro Caribbeans, and like minded Afro Brazilians and Afro Latinos, all of us will heal from the scars of enslavement and colonization. We will learn how to respect each other's culture, learn how to do business together, and learn how to be on code with one another. That's what I'm standing on. We're not going to tolerate any arguments that deflect from social injustice done to Black people in our society. We're going to stand against systematic white supremacy head on. We're going to I call out states sanctioned violence against Black Americans. We're starting to move our message of Black economic empowerment as a base to connect with other like minded Black people and African people throughout the diaspora. When descendants of American slaves became more strategic about how we spend our money and who we support, like funding our own media. I watched a video about a sister who asked a hypothetical question. She said, quote, what would happen to America if Black Americans left, unquote. This is a very interesting scenario. Let's unpack that statement about what she said, because a lot of times we don't think about this in those terms. If a majority of us left America, what would happen to the US? A lot of white Americans used to tell us to go back to Africa. A few black Americans did just that. Notice today they stopped saying that to us, unlike during the 80s. I heard that all of the time on the radio. In reality, they don't really want us to leave because they need our black dollars. The white supremacist financial elites know that America would collapse. Without descendants of American slaves slash freedmen, America would lose money from our culture, music, fashion, sports, and entertainment. The major sports leagues like football and basketball would go under. The American economy would collapse because there would be an economic downturn. Descendants of American slaves as a collective contribute $1 trillion annually to the American economy, from customer depending to business ownership. A lot of people would go out of business. For example, the Asian beauty supply, specifically, especially for black hair products and nail shops, the Arab liquor stores in the black ghettos, the gun stores, funeral homes. The criminal justice system would lose a lot of money from um, such as judges, lawyers, and correctional officers. It would be an economic disaster because the school, the prison pipeline made its fortune off of the backs of Black Americans due to the 13th Amendment. The industrial prison complex is a big business in itself. We are everything great about this national policy wise. That's why all of these other groups are asking us to come join their cause, but none of these same groups are joining us to get our reparations. If we were to leave the United States, there would be a decline in innovation and ingenuity. We're focusing on our lineage. All of these other groups have been piggybacking off our struggle and reaping the benefits. They enforce our oppression by funding a $10 trillion military system against Black Americans. White supremacy is connected to art and entertainment, the economy, education, government, healthcare, media, and religion. Here's a few examples of white supremacy in modern times. The racial wealth gap between blacks and whites in the United States. Housing discrimination still exists even after the Fair Housing Act. Black Americans still face redlining and are denied housing loans based on race. In the criminal justice system, we still find racial biases in policing. Road cops have been exposed sharing private text messages about targeting Black people. Black Americans are overly incarcerated. Black Americans face health disparities in the healthcare system. Black mothers are 3 times more likely to die during childbirth than white women due to racial disparities. Under the Trump administration, these other groups are starting to get some pushback from some of this administration policies, and we ain't there to involve ourselves. It's not our issue. Notice we ain't out there putting on the cape for everybody. We ain't fighting no one battles. As I mentioned in my revised book, Why Black Americans Who Are Descendants of American slaves freemen need our reparation due to the $10 trillion wealth gap. The racial wealth gap between Black Americans and white Americans is substantial, with white households holding significantly more wealth than Black households. In 2022, the median wealth of white households was about 6 times that of Black households. Here's a more detailed breakdown. Median wealth. In 2022, the median wealth of white households was 284,310, while the median wealth of Black households was 44,100. wealth ratio. This means that for every $100 in wealth held by white households, black households held only $15. Historical context. The racial wealth gap is a result of historical and ongoing systematic inequalities, including discriminatory housing practice, disparities in access to credit and education, and the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow laws. Impact of house Impact of home ownership. Home ownership played a significant role in wealth accumulation, and Black households have historically faced barriers to home ownerships, leading to lower levels of wealth. Persistence of the gap. Despite some gains in wealth for Black households in recent years, the racial wealth gap remains persistent and substantial. Average wealth. The average wealth of white households is even higher than the median, reaching over 1 million in some reports, while the average wealth of black households is around $200,000. The racial wealth gap in the US is estimated to be $10 trillion gap, with the top 10% controlling 60% of the nation's wealth, while the bottom half holds only 6%. Here's a more detailed look at the issue. Magnitude of the gap. The racial wealth gap between blacks and white families in the US is substantial, with estimate ranging from 8.4 trillion to $10 trillion. Wealth concentration. The top 10% of wealthy Americans now control 60% of the nation's wealth, while the poor half holds only 6%. Okay. Um, inter- Intergenerational transfers, family inheritance, and financial support played a significant role in the racial wealth gap, with white households often benefiting from these transfer more than black households. Economic impact. The racial wealth gap has significantly economic consequences, including reducing consumption and investment and a loss of economic potential. Solution. Addressing the racial wealth gap requires a multifaceted approach, including policies that promote economic opportunities, addressing systematic discrimination, and investment in the Black community. Reparations. Some scholars and activists propose reparations as a way to address the historical injustice that have contributed to the racial wealth gap. Please leave a public comment about the comment in the comment section below this audio podcast and share with your friends on all social media sites you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Thank you all for listening. We greatly appreciate it. Put me on blast, everyone, by telling all your friends and family to listen to our content on our YouTube page. I'm going to send a challenge out to everyone that's listening to this audio podcast. I need you all to support our film project so that we can move beyond cyberspace and get our story on the big screen to let the Black world know who we are and what we're trying to do for our people that are trapped in American ghettos, starting in Chicago. Quote, Hood Liberator, made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins, unquote. You can be a part of this historic docudrama by contributing to our campaign either on our GoFundMe page or on our PayPal Giving Fund page, which will help fund marketing, promotion, clearance, legal, and general expenses. I would like to thank everyone who have contributed or will contribute to support our film project on our GoFundMe page, or if you are a U.S. citizen, you can use our PayPal Giving Fund page as a tax write-off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit faith-based and community advocacy organization. You can also purchase items from our virtual store or purchase my revised book. Ebook is $9.99, or the paperback is $15 plus shipping and handling. We appreciate your support. You can find all of the links below this audio podcast in the comments section. Thank you all for listening to our YouTube live or the replay. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing. I want to thank all of you for listening to our audio podcast on Spotify. If you are new to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast, welcome to our safe space where we discuss Black issues. We do this every week. This will conclude our audio podcast for today. We will see you on the next episode. Peace and blessings. And again, y'all, this is not about no hate speech or nothing. This is historical fact. And that's how come I try to encourage people to look at my sources. Prove me wrong. If you disagree, then get on camera and debate me. I challenge anybody in the United States of America that's a politician, male or female. I challenge any black preacher in the United States that's male or female. That what I'm saying is wrong. Come on this show and prove me wrong. Doggone it. 'Cause I back up everything I say. Um, and again, non-black sympathizers, they're welcome to join us, but I want to know in writing, head on. Um, where do they stand as it pertains to lineage-based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves? If they disagree, then I'm gonna tell them they have to turn around and leave out off our premises. Over here, this is our last battle in America, is to push for reparations. And we could also do that on the African continent. You don't have to actually be here in America, because they got American companies all over Africa, because they're trying to recolonize Africa, and we're not going to have that. That's why I want to have descendants of American slaves with African immigrants, so that way we can get it popping here first for credibility, so I can expand it to the African continent. I want to make sure none of my members will get ripped off, because everybody will have their thumbprint placed in our database. And so that way we can keep tabs on who's doing what. Again, I told you, I don't operate like the next black man. I'm on business, and I'm about solving problems. All I ask for is a chance. Give me a chance to prove myself. But I want to make sure I have my management team in place first so I can do my job. With that being said, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. And I hope I can get 5 or more people to be on my panel, so that way it's not about me just running off at the mouth. I can listen to other people's perspective and get other people that's on my Facebook friends list or my backup page for all of you all to participate. And again, if you're not able to participate this month, again, we do this, the virtual interactive conference will be held every month, the last Saturday of the month. So you still have time to come on here. But as of yet, I still don't have any donations on our GoFundMe page. As of yet, I still don't have any donations on our PayPal Giving Fund page. Problem. The white supremacist financial elites ain't gonna fund my film project, because it's gonna go against their system. This is gonna help Black Americans solve all those problems that's going on in the households. We want to work with Black families that want more out of life. That's real. Not going to nobody's community trying to, put people down and all that stuff. That's not how I get down. I'm from the hood. But again, I have standards. I'm not, some of my enemies or my critics say that, I'm being judgmental, or they think that I'm trying to be better than X, Y, and Z. And that's not the case. It's just that I'm not wasting my time with somebody that's don't have any ambition in life. They don't have any goals. I can't work with you. It is what it is. I only want to work with those that want more out of life. And I want to bring this business over to the African continent and work with Africans that want more out of life. I'm not going to give up my American citizenship because my ancestors helped build the United States. But I just want to come to the United States to shoot my film, maybe, hang out with a few of my friends and a few family members, but I want to spend the rest of my life on the continent helping to improve the African economy. So, Global African Family, if y'all serious about me bringing the business over there, then get behind this, put me on blast. That means get people involved, your friends or family that's in Europe, Canada, here in the United States, or anywhere else. Tell them about it. Encourage them to read my story. And let's make this happen. Just sit around and complain about the white man and the government. We grassroots over here 100%. That's what I want to be remembered for. Not some black dude just running off at the mouth, but a black man that has a vision and a plan. Peace and blessings. And again, that's going to conclude our show for today.